Hello and welcome to WTO Forum. Over the past decade, a profound geopolitical shift has taken place. New actors have come onto the world stage, demanding a greater say in the way our planet is run. There can be no question that this profound shift has had consequences in many areas, and this is certainly the case in trade. Countries like Brazil, China, India, and others now have a more prominent role in the global trading system as elsewhere. The question today is what role these countries are playing in the WTO and the global trading system and what it means for the future. We have with us two experts on this, Ambassador Roberto Azevedo of Brazil to the WTO and Professor Yong Wang of the Peking University. Gentlemen, welcome.
Thank you.
Roberto, tell us the impact on the global trading system of this geopolitical shift we've seen in the last decade or so.
Well, it's the presence of the emerging economies, in particular developing countries in WTO, and then the GATT at the beginning of the history of the multilateral trading system is not new. Brazil and India, for one, were founding members of the Brazil certainly was a founding member of the multilateral trading system. China is a recent accession, I think 2001, that's when they joined. But our participation has been there for decades. The difference, I think, was that there is a tendency today to have decisions taken bearing in mind the views of developing countries more than they did in the past. For over 40 years, I think, the GATT functioned from our perspective as a rich man's club. So you had the developed countries sit together, they negotiated, and at the end of the day they came with an agreement that was submitted to the developing countries, and the developing countries essentially had an opportunity to adjust those agreements. Now that happened clearly in the Uruguay round when you had the Blair House agreement between the US and the EU on agriculture, and that was submitted to the rest of the membership, and the membership pretty much accepted it. This time around in the Doha round, particularly in Cancun, when people felt that things were going to happen the same way, where the US and the EU agreed and submitted that agreement to the rest of the membership, the developing countries, particularly the emerging economies, Brazil was one of them, said no. And I think that was the first time when this shift in the geometry of the decision making of the WTO changed a little bit. And I think that helped the system because as of today, you have a group of countries which tend to start and shape the decisions in a way which is more representative, is more legitimate, is more credible. So that when those agreements, those basic understandings, which are not final, when those basic understandings are submitted to the rest of the membership, there is more acceptance, there is more credibility than if they were done otherwise.
Do you share that view, Professor Wang?
Yes, I do share these observations. It's nice to be here. I think the rise of emerging economies, such as China, India, and Brazil, is a very important development in today's international relations. We can attribute this phenomenon to several factors: the hard work of the people of these countries, the political stability lasting quite a long time, and integrating more ideas of market economies into their policies, and the general positive approach to the economic globalization. For the first time in the history, such a huge population has collectively participated in the global system of division of labor, which is a good news to the global economy. Emerging economies as a whole will play a larger and positive role in the multilateral trading system. They will work hard to keep the trading system open because such a system is in their own interest. And in the same time, they will also work together to improve the governance structures of the trading system, to make sure that it has a wide representation, a more sympathetic thought of development ideas or objectives, and to take care more of the interests of developing countries. Now, this idea has been there for quite a long time, and now with some more power and bargaining chips in the hands, the emerging countries will make them more possible to be realized in the future.
Both of you touched on this decision-making element. Do you think that, in a way, the system here at the WTO differs from other organizations? There is no qualified majority or weighted voting. It's a consensus system. Do you think that system helped facilitate this change in which the decision-making went more broadly to the membership? And might that be, in some ways, an example for other institutions?
Well, the multilateral trading system, of course, has to evolve. And I think in the decision-making process, that's what we're trying to do, evolve with the system, make it more amenable to today's conditions of living and trading. And the evolution of the disciplines, they happen in two ways. They happen either by negotiations or they happen by evolution of jurisprudence. So I think in terms of negotiations, the fact that we are on a consensus basis and the fact that we now have more than 150 countries, it doesn't make it our lives as negotiators a lot easy. It is tougher. It is tougher to do it. It's tougher to do it because we have more people, we have more countries, we have a more diversified electoral college, if you want to put it that way. And we have, of course, an organization which has teeth, because in the dispute settlement mechanism at the end of the process, you may be subject to sanctions, to trade sanctions. So people will not negotiate and enter into commitments that they don't truly believe that they can keep, because those could result in sanctions at the end of the day. So the negotiating process is more difficult, I think, than it was before. However, it is more credible than it was before, and possibly more long-lasting than it was before. Because once agreements and convergence occurs, it occurs on a wide-ranging basis with a lot of interest sitting behind it, and they tend to be more long-lasting than before.
Do you think, Professor Wang, that this more credible process would lend greater legitimacy to agreements that do emerge from the negotiations?
Yes. You see, to my observations, I think the WTO shares some similarities and have some differences to compare with other international economic organizations. I think you're right. So I think at the first level, I think the WTO represents some international public good. That means the existence of such kind of system is in the interest of all the countries. Okay, so I call it as public goods to all of us. On the other hand, we also see, the trade position of these members are quite different. Okay, we see the nature of the WTO is a member-driven one. So that means the larger, the countries, the trading countries can play a larger role in this process. So I think that the question is here, how to find effective ways to take care of the interests and positions of the smaller and weaker the members in terms of trade. So I think that is why I think the emerging economies are important in this regard, in helping improve the governance of the WTO.
As sort of a bridge, perhaps.
You're right.
I see. Roberto, your final thoughts?
I think that when I started my career in trade as a Brazilian diplomat, the decision-making process, the negotiations in general, they happen in a way which was mostly intransparent where developing countries felt that at the end of the process they either had to swallow the pill or be a nuisance. As of today, I don't think that that's the case. I think that members feel that they own the process more. There is a greater sense of ownership with the organization. They are not annoying guests in the system. They are owners of the system. The public goods image, I think, is a good one. And I think that the age of unilateralism is not good for the powers, it's not good for the weaker economies. I think that we are moving towards a more representative, more democratic organization. And together with that, we have the pains of democracy, which is agreeing is more difficult. Making agreements and closing deals is more difficult. There are more people with voice, more people who participate. In the meetings today, you have the United States, Europe, Brazil, China negotiating together with countries which have a very small participation in the world economic regime, trade itself. And they all speak with the same voice. They are equally interested. They are equally participating. That's a good development, I think. And that's an example, I think, for other organizations.
Professor Wang, you have the last word.
Thank you. My last thought is that emerging economy will have improved the global economic governance as a whole to help to have a more balanced structure in terms of power and interest. Okay, so I think considering this new reality, we need more compromise between the developed countries and developing countries. We believe the future of the WTO will lie in a better mutual understanding between these two groups of the members in the WTO about each other's positions and interests. So based on this mutual understanding, that both sides will be more possible to find the common grounds, to work together for a better WTO, a more balanced and a more efficient WTO.
Professor Yong Wang, Ambassador Roberto Azevedo, thank you to you both, and many thanks to you for watching WTO Forum.